Hello everyone, welcome to the reading for Taurus zodiac sign. This is from today to January 31st. We're going to start with Taurus finances. Finances for Taurus from today on to January 31st. What is it that Taurus needs to know pertaining finances for today on to January 31st? Taurus finances, God please up. There we go. You got the Two of Swords. Okay. And you got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. All right, let's clarify that. Clarifying finances for Taurus from today to January 31st. Please clarify finances for Taurus. God, where you're loving your light. Please give guidance to Taurus for finances from today. Oh, there we go. 10 of Fire, which is the 10 of Wands. Okay. Put this back on here. All right, recommendation for Taurus from today until January 31st. Be assertive in your finances. Be assertive. Okay. Wait. I'm giving you a love message. All right. We're moving on to career. Career for Taurus from today until January 31st. I'm going to take that back. I'm not even going to show you it. Career for Taurus from today until January 31st. God, please provide advice. What is it that Taurus needs to know from today until January 31st in career? What is it that Taurus needs to know? Please get them guidance. Get them, okay, your own card. The King of Pentacles. Let's clarify this King of Pentacles, because that is, okay, clarify this King of Pentacles for Taurus. I'm going to clarify that one more time because they happen to both be court cards. This is the Knight of Air, even though the Knight of Air can indicate, some sort of fast movement, but it's also a court card as well. So I got to keep that into consideration. So, all right. What is it that Taurus needs to know? Please clarify this career situation for Taurus from today until January 31st. Okay, the 8 of Fire. Got a lot of fire energy clarifying your cards, by the way. Okay? Both of them are fast-moving energy, by the way. The Knight and the 8 of Fire. They're both fast-moving energies. Okay? So, that's very interesting that I clarified the Knight, which is fast-moving energy, with an 8, which is fast-moving energy as well. That is very interesting. That's very, very, very interesting. Now, I just don't know if you're moving very quickly through to stability, because this is what this King represents. But I'm gonna make sure I clarify it further for you guys, just so we're on the right note. Clarify. Please get some clarification for career for Taurus from today until January 31st. Please. Okay, with the Six of Air. Okay. Okay, definitely. I can understand this being the case. Okay. Put this. Okay. There's a recommendation. Okay. Okay, now let's do love. Love for Taurus from today until January 31st. Ace of Cups. Please clarify this Ace of Cups for love for Taurus from today until January 31st. Please clarify. Okay, with the Eight of Waters. Okay, so I just want to let you know how you got the Eight of Fire to clarify your career situation. Then you got the Eight of Water to clarify your love situation. Okay, now let's hear the recommendation for Taurus for love. God. Yes. Yes, that's your recommendation. And what is it that the romance angels want to tell Taurus for love from today until separation and getting to know each other? Okay, so now we'll be doing your last spread. Okay, God, with your love and your guidance, what is it that you need for Taurus to know for the remaining of this month from today until January 31st? The King of Wands. Wow. Oh, wow. I see those cards and I'm like, wow. Are you serious? No, that can't be the case. All right. What is the clarification for what it is that you need for Taurus to know? God, please clarify what it is that you need for Taurus to know from today until the remaining of this month. Okay. King of Fire. Do you know you just got this king right now? Look, look, look. I just said King of Wands. You got him twice. This is the Leo card, by the way. Yeah, some of you could potentially had happiness with a Leo. Could potentially be having happiness with that Leo. Which congratulations to you. Who definitely found that happy place. Okay, your clarification is peaceful solution and forgiveness. That's your recommendation for what it is that God needs for you to know. Okay, so let's begin. Pull my cards back a little bit. Okay. So when it comes into your finances, you got the Two of air, or the Two of Swords, and you got the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the Two of Swords is the Libra card, and this is a Sagittarius card. Okay, so when I see these two cards together, it just explains to me that some of you may have some sort of situation in your finances. You may have some choices that you need to make in pertaining to your finances. and it feels like you kind of been meditating on these choices. You've been kind of or these options that you have available. You've been kind of thinking about them. You've been trying to balance and see, what's the pros and the cons with the situation. But I feel that overall, this is just a card of confusion. You just don't know what to do pertaining that situation in your finances. But I feel like you're gonna definitely get the clarity when you have the wheel of fortune in this position as well, because this is in your finances. Remember that I feel like now, I feel like this choice is going to be, it's going to move you forward. And right now you have the universe actually is aiding you. You have Jupiter, which is where this card belongs. You have Jupiter actually in your sign. So I feel like when the wheel shows up, it's a completion card as well. So I feel like the wheels is now turning in your favor. You're now having luck. You're now having abundance. You're having, so I feel like, you may be a little bit confused pertaining making this situation here, this decision, or that option that you may have. But I feel like you're going to make the best choice in pertaining your finances with the wheel being there. Okay, it feels like, even though you kind of examine the situation over and over, it feels like you know what to do. And especially you are Taurus. Remember, I just want you to take a look at this card. Okay, you see all four fixed signs there, which indicates Taurus, Leos, um, it's Taurus, Leos, um, Scorpios, and Aquarius. Okay, so I feel like, you're being aided at this point. You're being guided, and yeah, and don't over confuse or don't over analyze yourself in this situation, because I feel like, you already know what the right choice is. Okay, and with the Ten of Fire, which is the Ten of Wands, clarifying the situation, I feel like one of those two choices that you had were something very heavy. It was something that it was overbearing for you. Okay, it was just something that it was too much for you to carry. So I feel like, if this has to do with this decision, I feel like one of these choices you kind of have to cut off, because it's too much of a burden. It's too much. It's too much for you. So definitely, one of these two choices is too much of a burden for you. So I feel like you definitely already know that. Okay, so you already, even though you had a hard time making this financial decision, I feel like you're still going to make the best decision, because with the 10, it's a ending to a difficult situation to begin a new one. Okay, so I feel like you need to, out of those two decisions that you're making, this kind of keeping you confused at this point. I feel like one of them is heavier than the other, so I feel like you should definitely let go of the heavier one, if you know what I mean, and be assertive with it. Okay, it's up to you to, because this is your recommendation in your finances. Okay, be assertive when you make this choice. Be assertive when you finally make this choice. Be assertive with it. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that the Ten of Fire is a Sagittarius card. So you got like two Sagittarius cards right now in your finances. So I want you to understand, and I want to emphasize this very, very well for you. Right now, Jupiter being in Sagittarius, okay, and this being in your finances, I feel like Jupiter's here to aid you. Okay, Jupiter's here to take that heavy burden off of you. Okay, so you need to also be help yourself make this decision as quick as possible. Take that burden off. Be assertive with it. Okay? All right. So now we're moving on to your career. Okay? In your career, you got the King of Pentacles. This is a Taurus card. This is your own card. So I feel like this is definitely you. Um, this is definitely you. But let me take out the clarifying cards. So the clarifying cards is the Knight of Air, the Eight of Fire, and the Six of Air. Okay, so in this situation, I see someone who is very stable, someone who has the stability at work. Okay, but I feel like things are moving on in a quick pace. I feel like the ending of a difficult situation is now here. Okay, now you're able to move on past whatever difficulties you had at work. Okay, um, because I feel like, in the past, there was a difficult situation. And I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like this is a situation that's been happening since last year. I felt like the situation was very heavy. And now you're able to move past that. Now it's just, it's just like it just quickly you just quickly moved along from that situation. You moved away from that situation. Okay, so I feel like now, you're gonna feel a little bit more relaxed. You're gonna feel a little bit more at ease, especially with this king. And remember, right now in your career, you have two court cards, which I feel like the king is definitely you, because that's a Taurus card. And let me bring this back up so you know what's what. This is definitely the Knight of Air is the Gemini card, but it can represent all three of the air signs, such as Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, but I feel like this Knight of Air is someone who, because this is a court card, so it's actually a person as well. So when I see that the king of, I mean the king, I'm sorry, Taurus, the Knight of Swords is fast moving energy, but this fast moving energy, they're not as wise as you would think, because they haven't fully matured as of yet. Okay, but it's someone who's very passionate about their ideas and believe and have no doubt about their ideas, they believe and have no doubts about their idea. They believe that their ideas are actually, the best ideas, and they lack to see other people's opinions and stuff like that. So I feel like this could be kind of describing you as well. In this situation, I feel like for some things you're mature, and for some things you're like, oh well, I'm not willing to I'm not willing to. I'll be able to listen, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna even go about that route. I might, I'm gonna stick to my idea, because I feel like my idea, I'm very passionate about it. So anyways, but this could be a particular person in your work, in your career, that is also, you already know, because you are very wise, you've been there, and they just came along and they're like, oh, but like I said, they're fast moving energy, so they like to move very quickly through everything. Okay. So yeah, so I feel like they like to move very quickly through everything very quickly. Okay, but when I see the knight as well, he also I feel like he also brings a message of urgency. Okay, he brings a message of urgency. He's also speaking about, bravery and skills and defense and war. He's ready for that battle at all times. So I feel like some of you may have jobs where you're definitely, you're definitely are in protection, because you see right here, you see the King of Pentacles. He's someone who's very mature, but like I said, with this knight, it's just, if it seems like someone in your work or in your career is young, and they're like, oh, I'm invisible, and you're like, oh well, I've been here for X amount of time, And that's not the way that it really works, So you already know the ropes, but this person's like, nah, I got this. I'm like Captain Saberhow. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't sound very, very, very good, but I feel like that person is definitely that way. But you see, the fast moving energy with the eight is a Sagittarius card. The Eight of Wands is a Sagittarius card. So it indicates things moving very, very quickly. It means that, the time for waiting is definitely up. There's no more waiting. Everything is happening. Everything is moving very quickly, okay? So if you thought that you were going to, this person's not giving you any room, everything's moving so quickly. Like I said, tonight of swords is quick energy, it's fast moving energy. Here goes the fire, the Eight of Fire, which is the same thing. It's just everything's moving so fast. Everything is happening. There's no more waiting around. Everything is happening at once. So you need to be ready for that, especially when it comes into your career, okay? But like I said, with the Six of Air, it's just, now now the situation, like, I feel like if you had trouble in the past, I feel like you definitely are moving away from that situation. I feel like you definitely are moving away from that conflict. You're not moving away into a calmer situation. But with the Knight and the Six of Air, I feel like definitely there may be some sort of travel, and it could definitely be for work. It could be for work, or it could be you taking a vacation away from work. But I feel like definitely with the Knight and the Six of Air, there may be some sort of trip, or some sort of movement that may be taking place. So your recommendation here is, if you believe. So I believe that if last year was a very difficult year for you as far as in your career, I believe that this year is going to be a more calmer year. Everything is going to fall into place. You're not moving from that difficult situation into a more relaxed situation for you. Remember that you ended with the six. The Six of Air is an Aquarius card, by the way. But you ended it with the six. The six is contentment, harmony, and community. So I definitely believe that some of you are definitely working within your communities, okay? And you're going to be fulfilled. Things are moving on along so quickly. So you definitely are expect calmer situations when it comes into your employment, okay? In your careers. So now in love, okay? Love. Love, you got the Ace of Cups, okay? So I'm going to pull out the clarifying card, okay, because all aces mean a beginning, okay? This ace particularly is a water sign ace, okay? This one could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Okay, so this is strong emotions, okay? This is in your love, okay? And this is strong emotions. I feel like you guys were given an opportunity of, having those strong emotions when it came to love. And these are great emotions from love, okay? It's like the most utmost joy coming from love, okay? But let's see what the clarifying card is, because these two cards go together, okay? With the Eight of Water, which is the Eight of Cups. I feel that when you get these two cards together, I feel like God gave you an opportunity to have deep emotions, and He gave you an opportunity of that person also having the deep emotion for you. It was like you guys both had the same emotions for one another, okay? And I feel like one of you walked away from this. And even though the situation was stable, I feel like one of you definitely walked away from this. You didn't see the opportunity that was given in here. So the eight is someone who's walking away, okay? That, somehow the situation didn't bring them that happiness. And even though they felt the strong emotions, okay, even though they felt those strong emotions, they still had to move on. They had to still move away from you. And it's crazy because I feel with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Cup and the Eight of Cups, I feel like there was very strong emotions going on here. And there perhaps still is because those cups are still standing. Okay? But I feel like, one of you was in search of something more meaningful, something more greater, something more. And even though there was love and strong emotions, I feel like definitely one felt like even though there were strong emotions, this person is still not giving me my place. This person is still not making me worthy of them. And they just decided that, hey, even though there's strong emotions, I'm moving past this. Okay, I'm moving past this. I'm gonna move on to the eights indicate spiritual inner growth, success and material recognition. So I feel like you definitely moved on into something a little bit a little bit more meaningful in your life, okay? Something that even though these emotions were there, you still had a higher calling, okay? You still had a higher calling. I feel like definitely that's a situation for some of you. Even though you were offered this opportunity of love, some of you didn't know how to appreciate this opportunity, didn't know how to appreciate this person that was just given to you from above. And I feel that, and every time I do a reading for Taurus for the last, I want to say since July, June or July, I get the same situation for you over and over and over and over. Some of you didn't know how to appreciate whatever you got. Okay? And yes, the cards definitely agree with me. Some of you didn't know how to appreciate that. Okay, some of you, even though you had the strong emotion, the person had the strong emotions for you because it was vice versa. You both felt greatly for each other. One of you decided to walk away. And yes, it was something that was meant to happen. You see right here, I want to show you this card. You look at this card really good. You see how this person is holding both like the moon and the sun, okay? Okay, it's having a balance, and I feel like, one of you was definitely holding that sun and the other one was holding the moon, but it just never came together. It just, like the sky, it never really came together. And I feel like you guys had the power. You were given that power, okay? And I feel like you just didn't know how to appreciate it, And when people go, they go. They go. You didn't know how to appreciate it. They would definitely move on to something better. And so, yeah, separation. You see how the Eight of Cups indicate the same thing, separation. That's just a time, one of you didn't know how to appreciate the other. And that's why that had to take place, getting to know each other. I felt like you guys definitely, excuse me, you guys definitely had that time to get to know each other, or were taking time to get to know each other. But and that deep emotion was there, but somehow, I feel like you guys didn't give it sufficient time for you guys to, I feel like you just jumped the boat. You just jumped the boat instead of staying in the boat and kind of getting to know each other a little bit more, taking more time together. I feel like you guys just jumped the boat. And that's why that separation had to take place, because even though the strong emotions were there, one of you just, had too many things going on and didn't know how to appreciate that person. Okay, so I asked God, what is it that you want Taurus to know? Okay, so what is it that you want Taurus to know? Guess what I got? I got the Nine of Cups, and I got the King of Wands, and then I got the King of Wands again. Okay, the King of Wands was your clarifying card. Okay, so the Nine of Cups here, it's a happy card. It's a card of happiness, But as you see, I just want to show you, as you see, this person is very happy, emotionally happy. And it seems like this is a Pisces card. I don't know if I told you. I think I did. But anyway, these two cards are both Leo cards. They're both the same card. Okay, both are the same cards. Like, okay, you know what? I want you to make sure that you are aware that I'm talking about a Leo in this situation. Because when I clarify that, that's the same card that came out. So I feel like some of you would definitely either some of you are getting happiness with someone of this description. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Leo if they meet this description. Okay, so I feel like when you see the King of Fire is actually someone who, which is the King of Wands. It's masculine energy. Of course, it's masculine energy. Fire is masculine energy. Okay, but it's someone who's loyal, fair-minded, someone who's definitely a wise advisor. Okay, this person is very wise and can definitely give you advice when it comes into certain situations. Someone who's an honest leader, trustworthy, and handsome. Okay, if it's a woman, she's beautiful. Obviously, she is because you know and anyways, he is someone who has courage, is very passionate, has strength, confidence, authority, and power. Someone who's very energetic, okay, and active, which love adventures and has a certain passion for life, okay. But the king is actually someone who's very optimistic, okay. He's someone who takes who's very optimistic. He has a certain passion to life, okay? And I just want to let you know this king is also a very, very passionate individual. So I think that this is definitely someone who has vision, okay? Someone who has visions, okay? Maybe someone that definitely can bring you some advice, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. I feel like some of you definitely were being, maybe some of you are definitely are meeting this person, okay? This fire influence person, or or definitely already met this person, but God wants you to make you aware that this person somehow brings happiness. This person somehow brings joy. For some of you, it may be that this person is definitely happy by themselves. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that person. All right, that person is definitely happy, and even though, you know, things happen, that person is definitely happy on their own. They know the leadership that they take, and even they know what they contribute to the world. Okay, so when it comes into that situation, I feel like, I feel with this recommendation, if you guys definitely had is forgiveness and peaceful resolutions, okay? So I feel that some of you may already know this person, okay? And if you don't, you got and you're about to meet this person, I feel like you gotta forgive whatever happened in the past, okay? Especially when it comes to maybe this situation, I feel like forgiveness of that past, and it'll help you move forward, okay? Because that will bring a peaceful resolution to this relationship over here that can provide you with happiness, okay? So and if not, I feel like for some of you, you definitely need to have some sort of forgiveness and some sort of peaceful resolutions with this person, also of fire influence over here. All right, so with love and light, I wish you all the best.